Hey, what is up, guys? This is the director, Hollywood House. And of course, this is In Your House, the podcast that's been going on for 4 years strong. Really appreciate all your patronage and everything that you guys have done. But today, instead of the big, grandioso entrance that I usually do to start up the show, and build the hype. That's what I want to do is build the hype, but we're not doing that. There's not a whole lot to get hype about this week in the world of professional wrestling. Um, as we just lost Jay Briscoe, one of the Briscoe brothers, uh, 38 years old. Just a tragedy of what happened. And this episode here is to honor his memory. There's a whole lot of questions flying about details about this whole thing, but right now, that's not that's not relevant to what we're talking about. We're talking about the man itself. I'm going to go ahead and bring on the curator of content here at In Your House, my co-host, my brother, the marvelous Mr. Bell. Man, how you hanging right now, bro?
Yo, what up, house? What up, house? What up, house? What up, household? Yeah, the curator here, and it's a heavy week, ain't it? It's
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a heavy week, and I mean, like you said, we may not have our normal gusto about us because we this is kind of a reflective episode for us, and this will
Yeah.
be a reflective episode, and hopefully we can help you take you on a journey and
Mm-hmm.
help remember someone who was lost in our wrestling family, as a whole.
Absolutely, man. That's the facts. And we wanted to make this episode mean just a little bit more. So we had to bring on somebody who you've heard him here on the podcast before, and he's done a lot of work for the podcast. So much work for what me and Bell are doing, and he really runs that page that we have, the In Your House page on Facebook page and on Facebook that is, and just really does a great work on the social media front. And that's our boy Juice Incredible. How's it going, man? Appreciate you coming on today.
I'm good, man.
Yo, what up,
I'm glad to
Juice?
be back. So,
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah. Happy to have you back. Happy to have you back for real, for real. So we all know what's up here. We all know what's going down. We lost Jay Briscoe, man. 38 years old. It's just wild. 38 years old. A car wreck is what they're hearing, or what is confirmed that is. And it's just wild because, man, Bell, this really just hit me completely out of left field, bro.
Well, I mean, it hit us all out of left field. I think,
Oh yeah.
household nation out there, like if obviously we have a group chat, and that's how the group chat goes, and we share
Mm-hmm.
wrestling stories that are going on, or just our different thoughts on wrestling, and I think all three of us kind of found that information right at the same time, and we were all kind of taken aback. Taken
Yeah,
aback because one, he's a very very young guy, and
man.
although I know in some aspects Jay Briscoe was found as to be very polarizing and
Oh
controversial.
yeah. Yep.
Controversial. Um, he was also found to be very accepting of new knowledge,
Yeah.
and a humble man, and a man that was able to admit his mistakes. So um, this was a lot. Uh, I think this was a lot to kind of unpack, and this was a lot to watch. You know, the wrestling community unpack, because you kind of saw saw that it really did impact everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. It did, man. And his work, as a professional wrestler, as is I mean, it's just a different path. That's one of the biggest things that I've noticed about the success of the Briscoes. It was a completely different path. Uh a star who to my knowledge, never did WWE and
Yeah.
was probably never gonna do WWE, but still blazed him and his brother blazed their own trail to being one of the most successful and respected tag teams in all of professional wrestling, Bell.
Yeah. Absolutely. I want to kick this over to Juice because
Yeah,
I feel like I as far as independent or other independent wrestling promotions and stuff, he's our knowledge. You know, he knows a good chunk more about things. But the Briscoes act like, and they actually are what made me watch Ring of Honor. Now, after certain things were said that we're not gonna harp on or anything, I kind of fell off of them, but I still followed them because they were damn good at what they were doing, their promo work and everything like that, and uh,
yeah.
a lot. But I want to kick it over to Jusha a little bit and see where you're at with it.
All
Yeah,
right,
man. Where's your head at on this whole situation?
I wanna get this out there before we get too deep in. It was odd to me that Jay died because initially I thought it was a misreport. I thought it was
Yeah,
Kevin Nash because of what was
yeah,
going on
yeah, yeah,
earlier
with
in the
That
him and
makes a
year.
lot of
everything.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my initial reaction. Then when I found out,
Right.
oh, it actually is him, then it set in that wow, we really lost somebody that wasn't planning on dying.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's just tragedy, man. A straight tragedy.
yeah,
I just,
I just wanna say that hopefully Kevin Nash is in a better space now that he realizes that life really is short.
Yeah, yep, yep. And just you got to value it, because you never know
Really
really
does.
when you're gonna go. I
Yeah,
mean,
truly.
yeah,
it's wild to see that happen. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely, absolutely.
But
All
yeah, I
right,
really
so
enjoyed the Briscoes for years until I just fell out of love with Ring of Honor and generally. But my favorite time of the Briscoes was them in New Japan because that really brung out the grittiness in them.
oh yeah, like I feel like anybody that goes to New Japan, you kind of got to get a different, you got to get in a different bag because it's more of that strong style pace. But the
You
Briscoes,
got to
like
become
together, they
tough.
were yes, you got to become
Absolutely.
tough. And when you put that in there and bring and put that into what they were already doing, they really were uh and still will be regarded as one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling, I believe, Bell.
Not just
Absolutely,
tag
hands
teams,
down.
sibling tag teams.
Yeah,
True
true,
that.
true
True that.
siblings, which is very unique. We don't have very many of those, other than uh, maybe Booker T and his brother, and the Steiner brothers, and things like that. They'll definitely go down for in history or as one of the greatest sibling tag teams. That's absolutely right.
And they're
Absolutely.
also a
So,
team that rarely gets compared to each other. People see them as a unit.
oh yeah, yeah.
I,
An
I
absolute, they are a unit. I do see them as a unit. I mean them versus the Usos
oh
would have been
man,
something special if that could have ever
Oh, that would
happened.
have
I
been
know it.
marvelous.
Oh man, I know that it wasn't like lining up to happen, but in wrestling, like you really never say never. But like if that would have lined up, oh my goodness, that would have been amazing, amazing. So I wanna keep going here and keep this and keep the respect and the honor going. Bell, when we was in the group chat, you threw me like a whole list of some of his accomplishments and the
yeah,
things that he's done. And man, it was just like pages long, bro.
yeah.
Pages long. Like
It's I,
respectfully.
I mean, it's definitely worth a Google. But a quick Wikipedia look at Jay Briscoe's accomplishments: two-time Ring of Honor world champion, a
Hmm.
Ring of Honor six man tag team champion with his brother Mark Briscoe and Bully Ray.
Hmm.
13-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. He won Ring of Honor Year End Award 7 times. Um, he won the CM Punk Award, Team of the Year Award in 2007, Feud of the Year Award in 2007, with his
Yep.
brother versus Kevin Steen and El Generico. Um,
Ooh, great feud. Great feud.
great feud. So many accomplishments. Accomplishments from the Wrestling Observer himself. Dave Meltzer gave them Tag Team of the Year in 2007, and if I'm, I believe they should have won a couple more years after that too. If I'm being real, there should be a couple more of those.
Man,
And even
Pro Wrestling Illustrated's number 7 on the top 500 in
yes,
2015.
yes, yes. Weren't they? They were number 3 or 4 tag team this year, correct?
I do believe so. I
Yeah,
do believe so. We'll have to look. We'll have to look that up. But yeah, I mean, just what when I think of them, man, I think consistency, dog. Like that straight consistency. Really doing this. Really for real doing this. Not even with a crazy contract. Like not with a crazy massive contract. I mean, you out there really doing this. Putting Ring of Honor on the map, contributing to put them on the map, having some of their best feuds, being one of their best tag teams, and just felt like it was just always upwards momentum with them. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
He's been in 15 companies and has won a championship in every single one.
Goodness gracious. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's he 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 was a top guy, man. Him and his brother were top guys.
And I think they understood the biz.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You just look back. Since his passing, I went back through, looked at promos, matches, just different things, just to remember. And that Terry Funk ain't wearing no mouthpiece promo, absolutely golden. Some of the work that he did with his own brother, against his own brother,
Yeah.
in defending his Ring of Honor World Championship was absolutely.
I remember
It was
that.
really really hard hitting stuff. So like,
Yes, it was.
yeah. And then just recently we saw the Briscoes versus FTR in the dog collar
Yeah,
match.
man.
And there, I haven't heard a person on the internet complain about that match. Prior, everyone spoiled it for everyone and said this is the greatest match ever. And you watch it and you're like, holy shit, this is
Yeah.
pretty. This is really really damn good stuff. And as much a testament goes to FTR because they are absolute great tag team. That a testament goes to the Briscoes who were right there putting in that work with them, uh, and,
Yep.
and making that something.
Absolutely, man. I mean, just the work. I mean, the dedication. The way that the way that he was always able to recreate his own look. Sometimes he was bald. Sometimes he had a beard. Sometimes he had dreads. Like he understood how to like change his look and recreate himself and always come in with a fresh different look while still being true to yourself, because I feel like that the person that Jay Briscoe was on camera is the Jay Briscoe you can get if you would like mess with his family or mess with somebody that he cared about or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it was real, bro. That felt real.
Yeah, the Briscoes have never came across as a gimmick in any
Yeah.
way, shape, or form. I always kind of believe they are who they are, and they just show people that and wrestle. You know.
And ain't those the best like characters when they're just straight up being you and people vibe with it. Like you beat your chest so hard, bro. Like you beating your chest so hard that everybody else believe you too. And like I believed them. I believed the Briscoes. Every time they spoke, every time they wrestled, I believed that they was there to hurt people and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Character
Oh,
isn't a persona, it's an extension of his real self.
oh yeah,
The,
facts.
the best characters are just yourself turned up. So,
Hey man,
as
it's
we
just
as
it's
we know
crazy.
this.
Yes, facts, man, facts. So, you know, we've had, we've shared these moments here of as far as Jay Briscoe, man, and we're gonna continue to do that. For a second, normally I would I you know I would go and I would do a commercial break and yada yada yada, and we would do the whole ad and everything. We're not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take a moment to you know ask all y'all out there in the household to think about Jay for a second. Think about his family. He got kids that ended up hurt that was also in this wreck. So thoughts with the whole family, his wife, his daughters, you know, um, to be able to try to come up out of this, and try to come up out of it on the other side as well as you can be, physically, and as well as you can be mentally, and because they're getting a lot thrown at them right now. Like, I can't even imagine being his wife right now, having to deal with everything that's happening right now. So, like, just thoughts with them and energy, and love to them, while we remember a fantastic wrestler, but what was also considered to be a fantastic man and a fantastic family man. Uh, I mean, Bell, just thinking about all the tweets that we saw of outpour from wrestlers who've had positive interactions with the Briscoes, or Jay Briscoe and his brother, of course, and people that I know,
Yeah.
like the Pope Elijah Burke, like Pollo Del Mar, so many people that I know and have strong relationships with, had an opportunity to run into this man and speak highly of who he was. You know what I'm saying? So, like, uh I guess what I'm getting at is, I guess I kind of want to talk a little bit about uh not so much now as who Jay Briscoe was as a performer, but who Jay Briscoe seemed to be as a coworker, somebody that you
As a
shared a
man.
locker room with, a brother, as a brother, as a man, and I tell you, there was so many positive outcries from guys like Kevin Steen, from guys like Adam Cole, from Sami Zayn, uh, many, many more, man. And I'm just thinking, and I'm watching, I'm like, this is a man who came from probably pretty humble beginnings, you know, into the business that he loved, and it not only helped him grow as a performer, but it helped him grow as a man too. Because, like you said earlier, he opened himself up to to changing his mind about some things, and that's, for me, mad respect for that. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Absolutely, absolutely that. I would like to take a second to pause and, as we remember Jay Briscoe and our thoughts and our well wishes and our prayers and things go out to his family. That we remember that another family was hurt in this automobile accident, and another
Yeah.
person was killed as well. So our thoughts and our prayers go out to that family as well,
Mm-hmm.
and just the whole situation. You know, like I said earlier, Wrestling Nation really has been hurt by this, for very good reasons, because as we found out and as you just elaborated on, um, Jay Briscoe touched so many people, so many
Yeah.
wrestlers in some
Yep.
way, so many fans in some way. You know, I want to kick this kind of back over to Jushin, because he made on the In Your House page. He when we found out about his passing, he made a mandate. He said, "Yo, we're not gonna put out any other content unless it's just kind of Jay Briscoe stuff and like remembering him for the next few
Yeah.
days." And I
Mad
have
respect.
mad respect for that, because like um, I could tell how that impacted you just right off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like I got a lot of respect for tag team wrestling, even though I don't really talk about it a lot. It's
Hmm.
probably my favorite type of wrestling other than women's wrestling because I like aggressive women.
Yeah.
So seeing somebody who had a whole lot to offer get cut down so soon is really heartbreaking, especially after it's a weird fact, but he had a dog collar match, died, so did Brody Lee.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Very weird
wild. I like
coincidence.
yeah,
that's just weird, man. I didn't like I saw it, I was like, that's weird. That I don't even like, and now people are like, there's some weird people that's like ban the dog collar match. I'm like, I don't know about that, but
There's no
that's a
correlation, but
man.
it's just a
yeah,
weird coincidence.
Man.
exactly, exactly,
Gotta let y'all out there know.
exactly.
I don't think that has anything to do with anything like that. You know, we've
Yeah,
seen and experienced other dog collar matches before, and before you start putting superstitions on things, like
yeah, yep.
just simmer
I
down,
Scale it
mean,
bro.
look
back.
at their
Just simmer
opponents. Their
down a bit.
opponents are fine, right?
Right, exactly. So
Yeah,
like, it's not a thing where it's like let's not go doing that. But like, definitely like, as far as Jay Briscoe goes, a lot of the Ring of Honor guys, and I've attended a couple Ring of Honor shows. I watched him perform live, in Ring of Honor, and it was a great show. They put on a great show. I've been to at least two or three Ring of Honor shows, some in Columbus, Ohio, some in Indianapolis, and I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and man, just to see the performances that he put on and how I mean, put me in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, it's kind of hard these days, bro, to be in the business and make you believe in you. Like, there's a lot of wrestlers out there, but there's rarely a lot of people that are in the business that truly know how they are and know who they are. That is like like the Briscoes. I mean, they were totally in touch with who they were, and they brought it to you. They brought you their lives straight up, live and direct in your face, in the ring, over the promos. Like, it was the reality factor for me, bro. Like,
They were
I
authentic.
truly,
They were
yes,
authentic
authentic.
characters that brung independent wrestling worldwide.
Yep,
They were bigger than
yep,
the company.
yeah,
yeah. I mean, yeah, the Briscoes are their own brand, and it's going to continue to be their own brand of tag team wrestling that can, I mean, you can take from it and you can borrow from it as far as the stuff that they've done, but I don't think it's ever going to be duplicated like that because I never see. I mean, from Delaware, dog, just straight raw gutter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
that was different,
I
bro. For
didn't
me,
even
that
know.
whole thing was different.
To be honest, I didn't even know Delaware was hard like that. Like,
I
like,
know, right?
like,
That's what I'm saying.
like for it put me on. Like back in the day, I was like, "What is Sandy Fork, Delaware?" Like that's dang. Like I thought when I first got introduced to the Briscoes, I was like, "Yo, these boys from Virginia. Like these are some Virginia like hills, West Virginia boys, right?"
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was like, what? Where the fuck is Sandy Fork, Delaware? Honestly, where is Delaware? I didn't even realize Delaware was a state. To be honest, I kind of forgot. Not even gonna lie, man. So like,
But
if you let's say we put like if we had that impact, to put our city, our area code even
yeah,
on the
yeah.
map like that, like that's saying something because bruh.
You I mean, you could be like, "Oh, I'm from LA," and people be like, "Oh, he's from LA." Or like,
It's a
you
little
from New York and be like,
understandable.
"Oh, you from New York." It's
They
understandable. It's
make
it's
movies
just
about
about where
those
you from.
places.
Exactly, man. And they tough places to come from. But
Yeah.
these boys said Sandy Fork, Delaware, and I was like, "Yo, what's popping in Delaware?" Like, they made me like believe,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just
No,
made me believe it.
for the longest while, I was like, maybe I should avoid Delaware. Like, maybe it's just like,
Right?
I don't know how it's popping over there, but maybe I should avoid
Man,
Delaware. Like,
got some rough streets over there in
right,
Delaware. Like what?
right. So man, like, to any wrestler out there, honestly, to any creator, to any artist, or whatever you are, man, if you can put your city on the map like that, where like people really
Man,
really know where you from, like that is doing something. And man, like I I hope I I hope Mark Briscoe is I hope he is
oh
able to
yeah,
handle this.
His brother
yeah,
died
man.
the day before his birthday.
Oh
Oh
no.
man,
Oh
yeah, that's
no.
terrible, dog. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible. Like it's just an awful, awful tragedy. Like bringing it back level again. You know what I'm saying? And while well, I mean, we're sitting over here sharing love and positive memories and thoughts about Jay Briscoe. So we trying to keep it light as well too, but definitely not to overlook the fact that the psychological damage that could be caused to his family because of this awful tragedy. Really feel for his brother. I mean,
I
I feel for Mark Briscoe. So tough, bro.
I
So
just
tough.
I just hope he knows that us in the wrestling community, we love him, we have love for him, and
Yep.
and first and foremost, real life comes first. So like
Yep.
take all the obvious time that you're needing for yourself, and keep your mental health up, and everything that you need and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
wrestling will always be there for you whenever you win, or if you ever want to come back to it, or how that goes. So
Yeah. However, I mean, don't nobody need to push him on nothing right now.
that
Don't
part,
no.
I
yeah,
would totally understand if he chose to retire a champion with his brother.
I would. Hey,
I would
all
absolutely
respect.
too.
All respect. All respect in the world. Like whatever the family chooses to do after this, I just want to give them that privacy and give them that time to heal and grieve. And oh man, I mean, we all on this podcast, we all fathers, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's just an awful feeling or thought that you could be taken away from your family in the blink of an eye like that, and like just for me personally, straight up, like hug y'all's kids, man. Love who you love, bro. Like for real. Just love who you love, because you don't know if you got another just 7 years or 7 seconds, bro. Like love who you love, live your life to the fullest, dog. Like love your loved ones and love on them hard and let them know, man. Like it's just a tragedy, Bell. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Even if you don't love them, make sure they know you care for them.
Yo,
Yeah,
I
yep,
mean,
that too.
yo,
Care.
that's truth. We all have family members that were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But you still
Yeah,
love them. You still love them,
yep,
and even if you can't do for them, you know what I mean. You still love them.
yep.
But yeah, this is definitely a time to just uh remember that, like you said, life is short and precious, and that your family is important. Um, you know, but mm,
It's heavy, bro.
it
It
is.
just it just gets that heavy.
It
It gets
is.
that heavy, man. Like
It
I
pisses me off that execs don't want to acknowledge that he made progress towards change.
Yeah. And we're not going definitely when things a little bit more happen as far as we move forward, we're going to talk about that because I'll say this, I wasn't a huge fan of how that was handled. I was not a huge fan of how that was handled, but we'll talk about that like in the time
Mm.
when it seems more appropriate. Like I think we all agree, Bell. I know you feel the same way too. Um, that I just feel like I tuned in to see. I wanted to feel too. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be part of the memoriam too, and I thought there would have been more, but we will definitely cover that at a later time, Bell.
Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I did not watch Dynamite last night, but you know, I know what you guys are talking about with
Yeah,
AEW's decision, which was a weird one and was not theirs, allegedly. Um, but yeah, I hopefully they figure that out. And but if we're talking like shout out to NXT who immediately
big shout out. Yeah,
acknowledge the loss. WWE acknowledge the loss, and I think they did the right thing in this scenario, which is they need as many wins and you know good deeds as they can get. So
that's man. Yeah, that's true. So man, I don't like. I'll say I'll do this. I'll do this. Well, we'll go around right now, and I feel like that we've talked and shared and experienced uh all the fond and loving memories that we've had as far as watching uh Jay Briscoe's career. I'll just say uh I'll ask for y'all guys' final thoughts here as far as the scenario goes. And once again, we will talk about some other things at a later time. But right now, we just want to send healing and love to Jay Briscoe and his entire family. Juice, you got any final thoughts for us, man?
Not really, but I do want to say that if Jay's daughters ever want to become wrestlers, I hope everybody looks after them because they
Oh,
definitely deserve it.
yo, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, and they're always gonna have a home in the wrestling business. I feel like there'll be no door for the most part. There'll be no door that they couldn't knock on and get work. So I totally agree with that. Bell, you got any final thoughts, man?
Again, I just my thoughts and my hopes for all the victims of this crash is that everyone is able to find their peace, and
Yes,
and and those who can be healed are healed, and all of that. Um, you know, loss is crazy, and I know in the wrestling world we've had differing varying levels of loss. If we're
mm-hmm.
but they all hurt. Um, they all really hurt. So I just as we ponder, I just hope you all out there just take time to you know learn about the Briscoes if you haven't. Watch some of their matches. Watch their promo work if you're in the business. Study them because they are definitely on a whole lot of Mount Rushmores of great tag team wrestlers. Um, I hate to say in past tense for the tag team, but for obvious reasons. But you know, just Wrestle Nation out there, household loves you. We care.
Absolutely, 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 man. As far as me, man, I guess the last things I'll say is, you know, love on your people, man. I know I already said that, but like this feels like one of those times where it needs to be said twice. Like care about the people who care about you, show love, show respect, and treat people fairly and go out there and get yours, because I feel like that's what the Briscoes did. And like that's that's something that I personally have learned in the wrestling business is that, you know, as long as you do right by people and treat people with respect and just be a decent human being, you can live as large as you want to live. You can be as big as you want to be. The whole world will lift you up in the professional wrestling world, if you can come across the right people and just be real. And I really, truly, in my heart, feel like that Jay Briscoe was real. I really, truly feel like that he was authentic. And I really, truly know that you don't come across a whole lot of people that's real and authentic on a level of that type of trajectory. So like much love and respect to Jay Briscoe. Uh, we truly, truly appreciate everything that you've given to the business, everything that you've done for the business, and the people that you've touched. Now it's time for healing, time to if you pray, if praying is your thing, then do that. Give healing energy and healing vibrations to Jay Briscoe's family, because that's the most important thing right now. And yeah, this was the In Your House podcast. We truly appreciate y'all coming and rocking with us for a little bit, and memoriam, in respect, in remembrance of Jay Briscoe. Fellas, appreciate y'all for sharing this podcast, sharing this moment with me. And let's keep doing the work that we've been doing and keep doing what we do to leave our mark in wrestling. I love both of y'all, for real.
Yeah, yo,
Love y'all too, man.
I love y'all too. Y'all my for real family, and I'm so happy I found y'all. And you know, we'll get through this. We'll all get through this. Just remember, life is precious, and take those moments serious, yo.
Facts, facts. From myself, the director of Hollywood House, Juice Incredible, our graphics guy, our social media guru of the In Your House page, from the curator of content, the marvelous Mr. Bell. We signing out.